Welcome back to the Afternoon Express kitchen, where, trust me, we're keeping things quick, easy, but most of all, delicious. Now, Cape Spitsroker is very similar to a koeksister, but the choux pastry is softer and is a real treat with the decadent, spicy undertones of the syrup. It's between a koeksister and a donut. So today, we're going to whip it up into a decadent, delicious Clover Bliss medium cream chocolate dairy dessert. Teach me.
Imagine a family with a lot of different siblings and family members and extended this and extended that. This is in essence what we're doing. The Spitsroker is the cousin, right, to the koeksister and the koeksister. How they are related is that in the Spitsroker there's a syrup that is made, which I'm about to make, that has the aromatics that are actually found in a koeksister, which would be the star anise, would be the cinnamon, which would also be the ginger as well that go into there. Those are the koeksister part, right?
And that would normally go into the dough of a koeksister.
Of a koeksister,
but today we're using those same aromatics in the syrup of our Spitsroker.
Correct. And now how do we get to koeksister? Koeksister is dipped in the syrup, but it's fried. And that's where chef comes in, because you'll be making the choux pastry that ends up being fried.
Which is probably a cousin of an eclair or something, you know?
Yes, and maybe a churro.
Well, and so it goes on. So basically all the ingredients are very relative. It's obviously the ratios that they are put into. So I'm going to quickly just start putting some milk into my pan here and my butter. And what I want to do is get this to the butter to melt into the milk and bring this up to temperature. And then we're going to add in the flour. Bring that all together so it actually comes away from the sides. It's very important that you bring all of that together, incorporate everything in, take it off the heat, slightly allow it to cool, and then add in your egg. Because if you add in your egg in here, you're going to get too much sort of texture from the egg actually starting to set and coagulate. So again, you don't want sort of a sweetened version or a sort of a doughy version of scrambled eggs, do you? No. So all you do is bring all that together and allow that to melt together.
But we believe that this recipe is inspired.
It is definitely inspired by our one and only producer, Anele. Anele, she spoke about this, and I was like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. And then she described the flavors. She described all the work that goes into it. And now that I see it and I've made it, I'm like, I understand, madam, why this is a tradition and something that you eat and enjoy. And going back to how this relates to the koeksister, I'm making the syrup, and our koeksisters are going to be, Spitsroker are going to be dunked. Now, if you think about it, the flavors you're going to get from the cinnamon and star anise paired with that Clover Bliss that you're about to submerge, or rather pour onto your Spitsroker, you'll be able to get the flavor of the cinnamon, because you've got the option of making the syrup, but obviously this isn't the 15-minute part. You can do the option of 15 minutes with the syrup, or overnight with the syrup, but to make it easier, we've got cinnamon sugar. So you've got the cinnamon sugar there, you've got the chocolate, the Clover Bliss chocolate, medium cream chocolate dessert. If you eat that together, you'll be able to taste those flavors from the ginger that was in the syrup, that was, the cinnamon, the sugar, it should come through together.
Those aromatics are definitely there, I love it. Delicious.
And well, yeah, as I was about to say,
as you're about to say,
flopping it up.
He has me sort of twisting and turning there. So you've made that dough. You see how it just comes together so quickly. I had a whisk in there initially. You want to break down the flour particles. So you don't want to sort of, you're getting little globules of that. So you want to really break it down as quickly as possible and then pop it into your bowl. Now, because we're obviously having to work a bit quicker, you allow this to cool a little bit more. I've got enough confidence to put the egg straight into here. And then with your spatula there. So think of it as it's cooled down enough there, and then just get that into there, and then you sort of want to bring that together. And now you're going to get this wonderful sort of richness. But this is going to sort of help with the lightness of it. This is basically, the egg is acting as our raisin agent, because we don't actually have baking powder or baking soda or any other sort into here. So that's just going to come in together.
The texture's already coming together.
Yeah, and I'm just going to sort of bring my whisk in there, really just sort of beat it up together.
Okay, so that is that choux pastry that we were talking about, making sure that it's light, but the flavors are definitely there, and I taste those flavors within the Spitsroker little taste bite that I had. Those aromatics that Dumi spoke about is definitely there, and I love the fact that this is a 15-minute dessert. However, if you are going to be creating that syrup, make sure you create it a night before so that it goes into the fridge and it's ready to enjoy and kind of roll your Spitsroker in afterwards. But go into dunking.
Absolutely. So into your hot oil, about 170 degrees. You know, if you've got a thermostatic fryer, great. But otherwise, a nice hot oil. Just take a little piece just to start with and just see. And just very carefully away from you. See, I've got the handle out the way there. Oh, it's going, it's cooking.
That's what we're looking for.
What you want to do is put it in a couple at a time. So do this in batches. Don't try and sort of make a whole lot and then chuck it all in, because the temperature's going to drop too much. And what happens, the dough then soaks up with the oil, and you end up with a soggy little dough ball, which is what you do not want on there. But just keep it on control here, especially if you're on the gas like I am, or if you're on an electric stove as well. Be very careful at that. You'll find it will pop down to the bottom. You can give it a little bit of a shake, or if you've got one of those sort of racks inside it,
yes,
sit there,
keep
just
it around.
release it. It'll come to the surface and allow it just to sort of finish cooking, and we're going to take it out, drain it, and then pop it into the syrup.
Beautiful. I can't wait to have more feasts on these delicious desserts. Now, to get your hands on this recipe, please do head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
With the creamy decadence of double cream bliss from Clover, yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.